Welcome, your saltwater guide and KellyGirl. Big show today.
Big show. Why is it a big show today, Dave?
Because we're talking about our phenomenal vacation that we're about to leave on our big adventure.
Yes.
And we're going to be sharing all about what we think is going to happen, what we're excited about is going to happen.
Yep.
All our friends that are joining us, and it's going to be a great day. We also have a couple of guests that have asked some questions. So
I didn't know that.
we got all kinds of stuff going on, and it's a big day because Marley's right there, and he's super excited.
Marley, we love you.
He loves it when KellyGirl's on the show. It makes him feel very, very comfortable, not just Dave in here yelling and screaming.
Oh my gosh. We all kind of feel scared with you, Dave, but it's okay. We love you. And I just want to say, Dave doesn't know I want to say this, but you are the hardest working person I've ever met in my entire life, guys. He is nonstop, almost 24/7, almost. But you sleep a little bit. But you are just working nonstop, and I think that's just it's incredible how much effort and time and energy you put into this. It's pretty incredible, and I don't think everyone, or I don't see how anyone can fully understand what you do and how hard you work because they don't see what I see. But oh my gosh, this guy works his booty off. And
so why don't we try to help tell them about all the things I do on a daily basis that you see?
Well, that I mean,
that you see.
You're always Dave loves to answer anybody's questions. You can always call him with a question, and if he's awake or available, he's going to answer, and he's going to help you out as best he can. And you are all on the phone probably just from the moment you open your eyes until the moment you close your eyes at night. Really. I mean, it's the truth. He is always on the phone. I get no time with Dave, but that's okay. I understand he's trying to make this, work. And, but yeah, you do. You are just constantly, there's always something going on. There's always some problem too that you have to, a fire you have to put out, and you do it, and you don't ever complain. And so I think that's just pretty cool. I don't think people know that you're okay guy. You're all right.
Thanks, sweetheart.
I just saw you this morning. You were putting out some fires and, still being so pleasant and helpful to people on the phone that need help. And I just think that's pretty amazing.
The thing, and we got a lot of people sending in comments and questions, babe, and I just don't want to leave anybody out. I just want you all to understand. KellyGirl, thank you very much for understanding and seeing what's going on, gang. We have over 4,000 members on our silly little website, and then we have another 10,000 followers across social media. And none of it's possible without interacting with all of you. My commitment to my members of my website is to always be there and to always try to answer your questions. And I try to make sure that Justin and Pablo and Al and Sonny are right there with you guys to help you along the way too. And then Thursdays, nobody understands. Or probably most people's heads would explode on Thursdays because Thursdays are game plan Thursdays. I put together 9 game plans with Al Clower's help, Justin Botrell's help, Pablo Fernandez's help, and Sonny's help. We put together all these game plans, and I gather up all the information from all these different captains that work with us, and then I have to put them all together, and then I have to, I'm not trying to make y'all, oh, poor Dave, but then I have to put them all together, download them all, then put them all onto the website and title them. And I have to look at everybody's game plan too and make sure it makes sense that I understand it, because if I don't understand what they're trying to tell you, then I know you guys won't understand. So on top of all the other things that are going on, plus
he's got me saying, I dread Thursdays. I don't want to be on because I'm not, that extrovert like he is. I'm more of an introvert, but it's okay. I'm here, and I apologize for complaining probably every time. But I do love it. Once I get going, I love it. So anyway.
Well, thanks, babe. And then just to let you guys know, over on our social media platform, X, Threads, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, besides all the other stuff we have going on with the game plans and the podcast that we do 6 days a week. I know you guys think about that. We do this show 6 days a week for you guys because you guys watch it. And a lot of people tell us that it is what they look forward to during their day. So I never want to let any of them down, any of my audience down either. But we also have to keep up on all the comments, gang. And if you're trying to do social media, and if you're just throwing up a video and then you're not interacting with the people that are interacting on the content that you're throwing out there, then you won't get any followers. You won't get any traction. You won't get to move along in the direction that you're hoping to do. And listen, you cannot grow your followers if you don't talk to them. And that's the one thing that I do. Besides all the other stuff, I'm on this.
He's on the phone.
I'm on this thing all day too. I'm on this all day. We get somewhere between 20 and 30,000 comments a month. It's the most unbelievable thing we get. Right now, we're averaging about 3 to 5 million views a month on Facebook. We're averaging 2.5 million views a month on Instagram. We just had a video over on TikTok, me playing with the alligators at Prehistoric Pet that got 6.1 million views in less than a week. And then on YouTube, I don't know, I get probably 50 to 60 comments a day on YouTube. And all this stuff has to happen and it all has to go if you want to build your social media platform. It's an overwhelming experience. And some of those that are going to be with us on our trip to Alaska are going to get to see, because we're going to be taking, for the first time and since I started this social media thing, we're actually going to take time, Kelly and I, to spend together in the wilderness.
Yeah, we don't spend it.
Leaving social media alone. For 4.5 years, we've been obsessed with this social media thing. Like you guys, it's hard to comprehend what's going on.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, just period. It's hard to just be us. And I'm the one that says, hey, why, I get mad sometimes because he doesn't pay attention to me, but then I have to sit back and look at the big picture. He reminds me and okay.
But back in the day before this started, I ran yachts and sport boats for a living. And my average day, and KellyGirl can tell you, my average day would start at 3 o'clock in the morning and it would get over between 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock at night. But it wasn't really over, like Justin talked about the other day. It's not over when we get in.
You worked 24/7.
Then we had to go grocery shopping, make sure that I had plenty of cool stuff for my owners to eat the next day. And then we'd have to go right back out at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not afraid of work. I never have been. But this social media thing, in order to keep it all rolling along, it's a giant, giant, giant commitment. It is a huge commitment. But at the end of the day, we're looking out at I can actually, for the first time in my life, I can see a light down at the end of the tunnel right now, which is a pretty bright light because I have friends like Luke McFadden and Reed the Fishmonger and Tommy Gomes, people that are actually making it out there in this social media world. And we feel like if we just keep pushing a little bit more, maybe there'll be a chance that Dave won't have to work as hard, that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because we have over 5,000 videos out in rotation right now. Yes, I know. Imagine that. We have over 5,000. And people, Kelly, tell me all the time, I've already seen that video. And I think, no, other people.
Oh, other people.
And I'm like, how lucky are you? If you've already seen the video once, that means you've been following me for 4.5 years. So you are so lucky to actually get to see the video a second time. Somebody said that the other day to us, and I told Kelly, you know what? I've seen the Rolling Stones, I think somewhere right around 15 times. And every single time I've seen them since 1976, I want them to sing Satisfaction. Every single time I go see them. My favorite band in the world, Aerosmith, broke my heart when they retired the other day. But I want to see sweet emotion. And I want to see walk this way every time I go. So those of you that are seeing our videos for like a second, or some people have even seen them a third time, you should pat yourself on the back and congratulate yourself because you've been following along with us for so long. And like I tell Kelly all the time, I think they're following us because I'm like a NASCAR race. I'm going to try and crash.
You kind of are.
I'm going to crash, and they want to be there when the crash occurs. Right?
Right.
So we're not complaining. And Thursdays.
No, we're not complaining at all. We're just trying to, let everybody know
Thursdays are the
fun.
most craziest day.
Yeah.
By far.
And then you take all of that and you throw a monkey into the mix. And and then I'm kind of a handful too.
No, you're super easy. It's all loved up. But what I try to tell KellyGirl all the time is, would you rather I was out on the boat working 19 hours a day, or would you rather I was laying here on
Sometimes I say yes. You know what? That wouldn't be too bad. But no, I wouldn't trade this for anything. It's hard, but.
And Tim Ogilvy, Mike, all of you that watch every day, we appreciate all of you so much. And I understand with all the craziness that's going on in the world right now, and there is some craziness.
Oh, yeah.
And the craziness is coming to Cabo now. Kelly just read me an article that now we have people that have started to steal purses at Home Depot.
Walmart, the grocery section.
And I feel bad for those poor people that did that because they're not in California. You're not in. What happens now, they have them on camera, and down here they absolutely will take care of that problem. Those people will disappear and they'll never be seen.
Hopefully.
And everything's prosecuted by the big boys. And it's crazy. And there's a lot of comments coming in, and I understand that, and I love all of you, but listen, nothing makes Kelly angrier than me reading your comments.
That every time, and
but you hate it when I lean in there and read them.
I don't hate it, honey. I don't like it. So,
okay, you don't like it.
Stop saying that. You don't need to tell everybody.
All right, so that's why I'm not answering all your comments.
Yeah, so they need to send a comment question.
On the telephone at 949-374
0786.
Right.
Because Dave, first of all, Dave has a hard time reading, period. So for him to read, actually, it's very tiny and it's on the laptop screen. So it's kind of hard for him. So sometimes he looks like he's struggling, and I don't want him to look like he's
I'm struggling.
So anyhow, so I don't hate him. I'm so happy that so many people send comments and questions and whatnot.
So we're going to get into talking about our Alaska trip, but first let's thank fishingbooker.com.
Yes.
Fishing Booker, thank you very, very much. Fishing Booker is the reason why we get to do the show on Thursday. Fishingbooker.com takes care of the first half of our shows every Thursday. And thank you very, very much, all the people at fishingbooker.com. Fishing Booker is one of our big advertisers, and we appreciate you guys. And I just want you to know, if you're anywhere on the planet Earth and you need a boat to go fishing on, because we all want to go fishing when we're on vacation, just go to, if you don't know who to go with and you didn't call me and you don't have somebody set up, go to fishingbooker.com, and they'll be right there to handle any of your fishing needs and get you out on a boat and get you to go fishing. Go to fishingbooker.com. You can see their logo up in the top right-hand corner of our screen. It might be on your left-hand corner. I don't know how it looks at your house, but on our screen, it's in the top right-hand corner, right up there. And go to fishingbooker.com and get all of your fishing needs taken care of. And we can't do this show without our sponsors.
No.
And we thank you all very, very much. We thank all of our sponsors every single day, because without you guys, this isn't possible. But you know what? If it wasn't for all of you watching the show every day, none of these sponsors would want to be a part of this.
True.
The machine is incredible. We just got our numbers in, and it's overwhelming. I'm just gonna, just for 1 second, I want to just read one. It's real. It's honest to God. I know you're gonna be blown away. All of you that watch us every day and pay attention, I'm just gonna read a number for you. Your Saltwater Guide YouTube channel, so far year to date for this half the year, 8.5 million views. 127,000 watched hours of my
Wow.
YouTube channel. That's an incredible, incredible, incredible number. Now, you want to hear something? It's hard to even, you're not even going to believe these numbers when I tell you. Okay? Watch this. Where did it go? Your Saltwater Guide TikTok account. Yeah, I know. TikTok. Total followers, 126,200. 2.3 million likes
Wow.
on TikTok. And I don't even dance. I don't do any TikTok dances or nothing.
I've tried to get you to do it, but you won't.
It's just absolutely.
It's pretty incredible.
And then here's the big number. Facebook total reach in 2024, and it's only August. 8.6 million people were reached. We have 301,000 followers on Facebook. And the numbers, they're huge like that on Insta. They're huge like Instagram. Total reach. This will blow your minds. Way more than 9.3 million people reached on Instagram so far this year. And that's because of all of you. I put out silly videos and everybody likes to watch them because you never know what's going to come out next. But those are just insane, insane numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely insane.
Insane.
So John Stanley had a question here, KellyGirl.
Yes.
We're going to look for the show. I'm sure you're excited about going to Alaska. Is there anything you're worried or nervous about going there?
No.
Her fur babies.
Well, yeah, I'm worried about leaving Marley and our Dahlia, our cat Dahlia. That's just because I love them so much. But other than that, no, I'm not worried. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I'm not worried. I'm not going to be high maintenance. I'm going to try not to be.
You can't be up there, baby.
Yeah, no, and
you
I'm not
want
going
to
to worry
be careful.
about it.
You don't want to put on some type of powder or something that bears like to eat. Holy guacamole.
Yeah,
right.
Right. I'm not that high maintenance, but.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not.
All right. And then what? John Stanley sent in that question. Then Dawn Stanley wants to know, KellyGirl, what are you looking the most forward to seeing up in Alaska?
I hope I could see some bears. I've never seen one in the
live
wild.
bear.
A live bear. I've seen them at the museums. They're stuffed and like their pose or whatever. But I've never seen a live bear. So that is what I'm.
And they're grizzly bears. They're not little bitty black bears. These are great.
I'm super excited.
They're ginormous, baby.
Their
head is as big as this wall right here. They're
I
huge
can't even
animal.
comprehend that. And I'm just excited about being in Alaska. I've never been, and just I think the whole experience. I feel so blessed that
we get to go.
And it's just going to be so exciting. I can't wait. So.
No, it's going to be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And that's kind of what we were going to talk about today on the show is everything Alaska, what we're looking forward to seeing, what's going to happen when we're up there, all the different things, because gang, we're just starting to, our life has been very, very, very busy. Mm-hmm. So what Elliot and I are doing right now is we're trying to put together our top 14 podcasts, because for the first time ever in the history of my podcasts that I've been doing for 5 years now, I've been doing them since 2021. Mm-hmm. To 22, 23, 24. So 4 years. And we have over 490 podcasts out there. But what we're going to do is we're going to pick our top 14 that have been watched. And those are going to be reruns for the first time ever, because KellyGirl and I are going to go on our first vacation where we're actually on vacation for a couple of weeks, trying not to touch social media. We'll still have the game plans on Thursday. We'll still put those together. I talked to Larry and he has Starlink up there. But as far as sitting down in front of you during the middle of the day and doing this. It's not going to happen, gang. And I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But we will have the reruns going on, which we've never done before. But I have to make a commitment to my beautiful wife and actually spend some time with her on vacation for the first time. Because when every other place we've ever gone, this is all encompassing. It's all overwhelming. The first thing I do in the morning when I wake up, Kelly, what?
You grab your iPad, or you turn on or you get your phone, or you just
Because
you got something.
a lot of our audience is in Florida and New York and Texas. And so by the time I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, there's already 10,000 comments that all want to have Dave answer them, or they want to tell me how dumb I am because I don't know how to tie up a boat, or how dumb I am because I don't know how to fillet fish. And so it's super important for me to let them know that I understand that I am the dumbest human being on the planet. So I think the thing I'm looking most forward to is shutting down social media for a couple of weeks and recharging my battery and hanging out with all of our members that are joining us on this great adventure. We've got 2 groups of people coming with us, for one group the first week and then another group the second week. It's going to be incredible. By the time the second group get there, you and I are going to be like old pros up there.
Yeah, I know. Yep.
And so we're looking forward to hanging out with all of our friends and seeing all the fun stuff that we really don't even know what we're about to witness.
Right.
We really have no idea. We don't know what to think or what to even do. We don't know what to wear. We don't know how to dress. I know I'm going to have flip-flop shorts and a t-shirt on, but I might have to put on something else. So our good friend Arnie, are you guys going up river to catch Dolly Vardens or concentrate on salmon species? We are going with Larry from Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance. We've been told there's some stream fishing. We've been told there's some ocean fishing. We've been told there's some salmon fishing. But we don't know, Arnie, to be perfectly honest. We're just going there and we're just going to do whatever is going to be presented to us. We're just like, if you were to come on a charter on my boat, you just kick back, relax, and just have fun and do whatever I tell you to do. That's the best way to go about it. That's how we're going to approach this trip, right?
Yep.
That's how we're going to. So we don't know. All I can tell you is that when we get back, the day we get back, that I have to leave that next morning for War Heroes on Water. And that'll be all encompassing too, because I love to give back to all the men and women that have done so much to allow you and I to live our bitchin' life that we get to live. And we never saw combat. We don't know what that's like. So this will be the 8th year in a row, War Heroes on Water. So we get back on the 18th and I have to be in Newport Beach on the 20th for War Heroes. So it's going to be crazy. But then after all that, then we'll start sprinkling the videos out and you guys will get to see what we did on our great, beautiful vacation. Dave Burris, Kelly, what is the #1 fish you want to catch in Alaska?
Oh, halibut.
You do?
Yes.
You want to catch a big giant?
Yeah.
I thought it was a lingcod.
No, I do not. No.
She doesn't even like the way they look.
No, I can't. Those are so ugly. No, halibut. Yes, definitely. Big halibut, because that's where you can get those big ones. I've caught one before, right? Just one, and it was not very big, but.
And then our buddy Brian wants to know if we have any plans for any new swag at our store, your Saltwater Guide to store. Over there,
What?
Do we have any plans for any new clothes?
Do we have any plans for new stuff? Not that I'm aware of, but I know that there are a lot of
It's
new stuff there
overwhelming
now.
how
Yeah, there's
much-
like a ton of stuff. You can get flip-flops, you can get pajamas, you can get
Underwear,
you can get apron. I mean, anything.
an apron,
I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
hats, shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts. But Brian, if you have a suggestion for what you would like us to add to the store, absolutely. And gang, if you've never checked out our store, it is absolutely incredible. If you want to help and represent us and be a part of the representation of your saltwater guide, I'm going to throw the QR code up here on the screen. And you guys can go over to our store and see all the product. It's
There's a
absolutely,
lot of cool stuff in the store, yeah.
pretty unbelievable. I think right now we have something like 40 or 50 cues, 40 or 50 different products, somewhere right between 40 and 50. You'll be blown away when you go. If you haven't been to our store yet, do yourself a favor and go check out all the phenomenal merchandise. There'd be nothing like wearing a pair of your Saltwater Guide underwear, right?
Oh, right.
Absolutely. Get me close to you. But check out the QR code right there, gang. And those of you that are driving around in your cars, just go to your Saltwater Guide, the store, and you can check it all out. The amount of product over there is.
There's even a T-shirt with, I believe, your face on it. You can get a T-shirt with Dave's.
Just what everybody wants, right?
Yeah. I think it's pretty cool.
And Tim Ogilvy's friend just got back. He booked the trip when we were at the Pacific Coast Sport Fishing Show. He booked the trip because Larry had his booth next to us, and he said it was over and beyond what he expected. He said Larry was an excellent guide, and he can't wait to go back next year.
Wow. Someone else went on a trip. They recently, I don't know if it was recent, but they said the same thing. It was just a phenomenal trip they had, trip of a lifetime. So I'm super excited. I just can't wait.
And it's Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance. I'm going to throw their code up here on the screen just so you guys can know if you haven't been yet or if you don't know what we're talking about. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it, Kelly. Do you see the logo?
It's right there, right where you were.
Right here?
I think so. No?
That's
I can't.
the association,
Okay.
the American Sport Fishing Association. I'm looking, there it is. Bam. So Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance, and we have a QR code for them. If you want to join us or if you want to go to Alaska and see what's going on, and I guarantee you when we get back, we're going to start booking for our trip next year. It's going to fill up rather quickly, but that's the QR code for the Alaska trip. And you can.
No, is that for the Gustavus? And
Yeah.
This is Alaska. Okay.
Gustavus, Alaska. That's where we're going.
Oh, okay.
And so that's how you would get a hold of Larry and the gang over there at Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance. You grab that QR code and take you right to their website. You can see what we're talking about. You can check out the lodge and all the great things that are going on up there. It would be fun to have some of you guys join us next year on the trip, but I believe this is what's going to happen. I believe everybody that's going with us this year is going to rebook next year, and I don't think there's going to be any openings. So you might want to get over there and be ready when you push the button when it opens up the trip of a lifetime. Here's another way to get a hold of them at Pacific Sport Fishing Alliance. We'll leave that QR code up there for a few minutes because I know a lot of you don't want to miss what KellyGirl and I have to say. Mm-hmm. Whoa, there went the chair again.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Careful there, buddy.
So KellyGirl and I are super excited to go fishing on the boats in the morning, but then me and Kelly want to go wander around in the forest and see the bears and the bald eagles. We hear bald eagles are like seagulls up there.
That's wow. Yeah, I can't even.
Big birds the size of Kelly. Kelly's not real tall. She's about 5 foot 2.
So I'm 5 foot. 5 feet.
5 foot 5.
I thought I was 5'2" forever, but no, I'm not.
When she took off her high heels, when she stopped working.
Platform shoes. I am only 5 feet. So.
She's 5 foot tall, so a lot of those bald eagles are going to be the same height as you.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine that. We recently saw a video. Remember, we watched a video where remember the eagle landed on someone's like back or head?
No, the baseball player on the baseball field came flying down. The poor guy didn't know what to do.
Oh my God! Let's hope that doesn't happen to us.
And then our good friend Captain Al Clowers said he's taking the day off today, sitting at home, and now the MLP, they want to extend it in San Diego. They want to take more of the kelp beds and more of the water away from us so that we can't fish. I can't even comprehend why. They have taken so much from us. There's going to be a big TV broadcast with Scott Sherman, who's been fighting for our rights to fish for a very long time in San Diego. And Scott's going to be on the news tomorrow down in San Diego trying to slow down this process. And then Wayne's at a Fish and Game Commission meeting with my sister right now because they're trying to take away our sand bass. They're trying to take away our live bait. They don't want us to use live bait anymore. They want the sardines and the anchovies. There's so much going on, gang, that you can't even comprehend it. If you go to ccacalifornia.org, you can see the schedule of the meetings and all the different things that are going on. And you got to get involved and you got to help us to keep fishing open. It's a super important thing. And they're on a mission to stop fishing. And I can't even comprehend living on the planet that does
live
that.
Bait, can you imagine?
No, my head would explode. I don't even know what to do. I'm not gonna.
That's serious.
Throwing a lure all day to catch one fish doesn't make any sense to me. Here, I want you guys to see something that Kelly and I think is absolutely incredible. Watch this.
Success and the inspiration that will drive the fishermen out in the first light of tomorrow with the eternal hope that it will be their day for the king of fish. And on every boat, fishermen wait excitedly for the first strikes of the day.
It's all about the bite. It's putting on the right bait, getting bit, setting the hook, or getting that first bend out of the rod.
It's about the initial hookup.
It's just one of the most exciting moments anybody can have ever.
When you see something that size, you freak out.
You strip it.
He's bigger than you.
It's 150 pounds.
Giant-eyed,
Overgrown minnow.
they could have come from a spacecraft.
You get tight with it.
You've got a hold of a huge creature.
Something in your heart stops.
You know,
I love it.
you can see them kind of looking at it,
Freaking aliens.
but that eye gets to it.
In the initial surge of the fish,
You know,
you really can't explain it.
lines clearing, jumping everywhere.
The line wraps around the rod and breaks off, and you're done in half a
It
second.
does something to your heart, your brain, everything. Everything stops.
This is the history of sport fishing. Chapter 2, From Survival to Sport.
That clip right there gives me goosebumps every time I see it. I watch it. Just the passion and the love of the sport that these men have is incredible. And I just, oh my God, you've got to see this. This is amazing. Such an amazing.
And that is a clip from the history of sport fishing, the 12-part docuseries written, directed, and produced by our good friend Michael Folks, formerly had the TV show Forever and Ever on Fox Sport West called The Inside Sport Fishing. Michael has put together a phenomenal 12-part docuseries all about fishing. If you have not seen this yet, every episode will bring a tear to your eye, starting from the very first scene. The very first person that you're going to hear talk is going to absolutely do it.
Yes, that's my favorite part.
It gets me every time Elliot or Michael show it to me. We filmed that part for the show right after my father passed away. So it touches my heart every time I see it. And you guys won't believe, if you have not seen this 12-part docuseries yet, I would grab that QR code, download it, go watch it. It's a phenomenal docuseries. It's worth every penny.
Yes.
It's $9 an episode, or you can pay $75 and be on the VIP. You're not going to be bummed out. It's not woke by any stretch of the imagination. It's not like what you're watching on Netflix right now.
It's just incredible. The time and the
It took him 10 years of setting in his garage, editing and putting all these great pieces together, and he blends the old film with the new film, and it's
absolutely beautiful.
There's something in it for every single human being. So there's no reason to not watch the history of sport fishing. And like Kelly says, it gives her goosebumps every time she watches it, because she knows how passionate I am and how passionate so many of you are that she's met over the years. And she knows a lot of IGFA Hall of Fame captains, Pete Grossbeck, Steve Lasley, friends of hers that are in this docuseries, and it's just hear the back stories and they see all the cool things. It's a
And
must
the
see.
the old footage is just, oh gosh, it's just amazing.
It's
We
a
can't say
must
enough
see
about
for
it.
all of you. You have to check it out. So one of our good friends, not one, two of our good friends, Tut and Larry, they just wanted me to know that they had to finally pull down their Your Saltwater Guide flag because everybody's following them everywhere they go now.
Yeah.
They're at Catalina and they can't even, everywhere they park, they got boats bouncing off the sides of them because
Wow.
it's just, thank you, Larry, and thank you, Tut, very, very much for representing me for so long. We've been friends for a very long time. And they're good friends of mine, but they're also supporters of my family, and they're members of our website, and it absolutely changes what you catch. And if you go over to the community and look at what Tut and Larry did, they caught some giant yellowtail at Catalina the other day, and that'll be part of the game plan this week. You'll get to learn how they did it, where they did it, why they did it, and how much fun it was. They had a great time. But KellyGirl's not lying. She has no reason to lie to you, gang. If you have not watched the history of sport fishing, it is unbelievable. And once you watch that very first part, I'll tell you what, it grabs you. It grabs a hold of you, and you just want to see every part, because if you got touched that hard by that very first part, you know you're in store for one heck of a story. It's a story of our lives, fishermen, people that like to fish, outdoors people. And you're going to find out that our forefathers, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, John Quincy, these were outdoorsmen. These guys were outdoorsmen, even though they wore those funny wigs.
Yeah.
They were out there all the time hunting and fishing, and they put fishing into the Bill of Rights. It's pretty weird. I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, we learned a lot.
I didn't go to school.
Well, even I did, but I mean, there's a lot that I learned from this.
It's a really spectacular 12-part docuseries about the history of, not only the history of sport fishing, but the history of the United States of America, that you're going to learn so much cool stuff. And then one of our members is going to go fishing. Let's see, what was I reading? He has a 10-12 with 40-pound braid, and he wanted to run 25 on that as a topper. Here's what I do, gang. I only can tell you what I do. I don't know what you do, and I fish straight braid on all my reels. Let me show you something. I just rigged up these reels for our trip to Alaska. Every one of my reels is filled to the rim with braid. There's nowhere to put a top shot because I don't fish top shots, gang. My rods are 9 foot long. They have a soft tip. I fish a piece of GT4 fluorocarbon, and I'll fish like a 24-inch piece or an 18-inch piece, and I'm fishing straight braid. So when you ask me about a top shots are great for tackle companies because they know they have to replace that top shot of that monofilament all the time. I don't use it, and I'm sure there's applications where you absolutely have to use it, but I only fish, like 300 days a year, so I really don't know what I'm talking about. I just know what I do, and I don't use a topper. I'm going to take your 40-pound on your reel, and I'm going to tie a 18 to 24-inch piece of fluorocarbon on the end of it. And how am I going to connect it? I just use the double uni nut. That's what I use. A lot of people like to use the Sandy or the FG knot or the John Collins knot. I just use a double uni, and that's how I connect mine. And it's on the website. On my website, I show you exactly how I connect mine. That's how I connect Kelly's line. And I've never been in the middle of a battle and thought, oh, it's going to come untied. That's never even, I know how to tie that knot. I tie it quick. I tie it. When I was fishing every single day, I'd probably tie that knot 100 times a day for my members, my clients. And I was always confident with that knot. So I don't use a topper. I don't know. I know Cubby's on here and he probably believes in the topper, but I don't.
Dave, you're very simple with your fishing, aren't you? You don't do anything.
I just use what works.
You don't do anything like
Fancy schmancy.
No,
I don't spend
you're
hours.
very basic. You're very basic. You know.
I don't spend hours tying a
You
knot.
know, 5 knots. I think is it 5 knots? You know, a total of.
Yeah, the 5 knots that Dave Hansen knows. And we used to do that seminar, remember?
Yes.
Back 25, 30 years ago, I started doing that seminar. And then Kelly, here's something I thought would have been unique to talk about.
What's that?
The first time you saw me do a seminar, when we went to that
Well,
place in Long
the
Beach.
very first time that Dave did a seminar and I went with him, I asked him, "Where are your notes? Where are you? What are you going to talk about?" And he's like, "I don't know. You know, I'll figure it out. I'll wing it." And I just thought, you don't have any index cards, or you don't want me to sit off to the side and like, you know, make hand signals to you to remind you to talk about that. No, he flies by the seat of his pants every time, huh? You don't have a prepared
seminar.
You just say whatever, and
None of them are going to be the same. They might hear some.
they're all
You-
different.
You may hear something that you heard at one of the other ones, but yeah, I'm winging it, baby. I'm shooting from the hip.
And a lot of people, you know, I know this because I've had people come up and ask me if you are on any substance or alcohol, and no, I know you have never been since I've known you, but a lot of people think you're on something because you're just like super energetic and crazy, and you start off every seminar with, "Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm
My name's Dave, and I'm an alcoholic."
So, but
That's because that breaks up the crowd. They're just blown away that you shared that kind of information with all of them. They just can't believe it. And I don't prepare anything when I get there. I look at the group, and you know what Mike Lum used to put together the seminars for the just because they had to say something. Dave Hansen's going to be speaking on the main stage, and they would have it on a poster board at the Fred Hall show, and it would say, "Today he's going to talk about bluefin fishing." And
you never followed what
every seat was full at every one of my seminars. And Arnie, you used to bring the hard hats and used to tell people, make sure you wear your hard hat when you come see Dave speak. But I wouldn't know what the topic was. I just know I'm speaking at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
But I'm not staying on track. And then I would come off the stage and people would go, "I thought you were going to talk about bluefin."
Yeah.
And I would look at them and go, "Well, did you have fun?" And they're all, "That was the craziest thing I've ever seen." I go, "Well, who cares what I'm talking about? You came and I entertained you." That's what I believe a seminar is supposed to be like. Like I used to tell you and Cameron, because you guys used to hang at every one of my seminars, my nephew and Kelly. And then they would go, think they wanted to see somebody else speak, and they would come back to the booth and go, "Oh my gosh, that was terrible," because the person gets up there and they don't have any energy, and
they're just not confident. I think that's what it is.
They don't really know what they're talking about, and so they start with, "Hey, this one time, you know," and then there was this, listen. Like I used to tell my nephew, if they say and if they say you need to get up and get the hell out.
They're probably going to be bored.
Because they don't know what they're talking about. They're trying to search for words. Every time you say it's because you don't really know what you're talking about. You'll never hear me say and you'll never hear me say because if you knew, you wouldn't be at the seminar to listen to me.
Yeah, Mike, he is fun. He's down to earth. He's not always fun because sometimes he can be a pill. But no, you're a pretty unique guy.
And then I want to read you something that Arnie said us about our good friend Scott Sherman, and I've known Scott for a very long time.
The Shermanator.
For you folks in San Diego, former Councilman Scott Sherman, the Shermanator, will be on KUSI tomorrow morning talking about the proposed extension of the Point Loma Reserve. Folks, they want to take the Point Loma kelp away. My late Uncle Henry would be pissed if this happens. We dumped his ashes there. This was his favorite spot to fish. I'll be pissed. You all should be pissed. Enough is enough. We don't need to close any more of the ocean. And you're absolutely right, Cubby. If it's in the Bill of Rights, we should have a say in this. But no, we're getting bulldozed by these woke folk. And it's so sad. And if you guys, I don't care what you believe in. I really don't. But if you're watching this show, you actually like to fish. Or you want to see the train wreck. I don't know. It's one or the other. But you got to quit voting for party, and you got to start voting for policy. And one party wants to take away all your rights. They want to take away freedom of speech. They want to take away your rights to go outside. They want to take away your guns. They want to take away your ability to go fishing. The other side, they don't care about what you say, how you say it, where you say it at, or if you're going to go fishing or if you're going to go hunting. They're not worried about that. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to get canceled, but you guys can pretty much see, I hope you can read between the lines. They've appointed a new candidate. They just appointed, no one voted for this candidate. It's kind of crazy, gang. If you don't see what's going on, and they want to stop us from fishing, and I know this isn't a political show, but for God's sakes, fishing and hunting and outdoors has become so political that we're getting steamrolled because you guys aren't paying attention to what's happening. And then you look up and you go, we can't fish? Can't fish part of La Jolla? Nope, can't. When did that happen? Oh, about 10 years ago, the MLP came in and told us, and Kelly and I went to a ton of the meetings. And Kelly used to be blown away when we would drive home, and she'd go, there was 200 of us standing in line, and we each got to speak for 30 seconds to talk about what we wanted to. And then their side got to talk for hours and hours of the most painful things that you ever heard. And those of you that know me know I can't sit and listen. I can't listen to rhetoric, and I can't listen to lies. I got to stand up. And I was in the LA Times disrupting the meeting. And it just blows my mind that more of us aren't involved. So that's why I always talk about CCA California and how important it is to be involved with what's happening. And those of you in San Diego, watch tomorrow morning on KUSI in San Diego and listen to what Scott has to say. He's going to be the only one that gets to speak against it. They're going to have, the other problem is there's that side that wants to close everything. They're propped up by billionaires and billions of dollars. And then we got to go in there with no money, no backing, no nothing. And we have to take our time, which is kind of valuable, but we don't want to lose it. So we have to go in there and sit and listen to the rhetoric and wait for our chance to speak for the 30 seconds when we're not getting paid. And the people that we're standing in front of, they're all getting paid epic amounts, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to close the ocean to fishing with no science, zero science. There is no science. It's all done by emotion. So please stop voting party. Start voting the process.
Right.
Okay. Tim Ogilvy, here are some halibut and king salmon he got. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. There you go, Kelly. You can get a couple of halibut there.
Yep.
And there's the salmon. Ooh, I can't wait to have fresh salmon for dinner.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that looks so fun.
Look at all those. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
That's cool. And then, hey, Dave, Daryl Smith here. Hopefully you're pulling on a fish somewhere. Nope, I'm doing a podcast.
Oh, I think he's asking about his.
He wants to give me some of his hard-earned money. He likes our website. His free access is up. He'd like to continue with the site. And I told him to call me. And that's my commitment to all my members. You get to call me and talk to me. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus.
Well, it's a plus. It's a plus. But boy, you get phone calls all day long, but it's okay. And then we welcome them. So here's, if I want to talk to Dave about just ask him a question, this is Dave. Dave is like this all day. He's like this, and I'll try to talk to him. He doesn't hear me. I'll have to repeat. So, but we're thankful.
I'm sorry, sweetheart. I love you. I'm doing the best I can.
I know that someday it'll be,
there's light at the end of the tunnel. We're hoping we get there.
No, it's pretty cool.
You guys should all get very used to Justin. There'll be a day where Justin will be your saltwater guide. Yeah, that's where we're headed, baby girl.
Wow.
That's where we're headed. It's gonna be
Well,
Justin.
He's a pretty cool guy.
He's a wonderful human being, and he's got a trip. He's gonna be live tomorrow. He's got one of his good friends he grew up with, little kids. They're going fishing for 3 days. Tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday, they'll be out there on the water for 3 days, just having the time of their lives, and they're gonna let us all in on it. We're all gonna get to watch them live out on the water, and it's gonna be pretty spectacular. I'm pretty excited about watching it. So he'll be live tomorrow. We're not sure what time, because you know how Justin is. He might be going a long ways, he might be going a short ways, but we're all gonna get to be in on it. And I talked to Wayne this morning. I wanted Wayne to join us on the show to talk about all the different things, but he's fighting right now for our rights at the California Fish and Game Commission meeting, our California Fish and Wildlife Commission meeting right now. So Wayne's fighting the fight for us and doing the best for us, for all of us. And Wayne is the president of CCA California, and Wayne fights the fight every single day. The amount of money he gets paid, I think it comes out to be like negative $200 an hour is what he's getting paid right now. It actually is costing him money to go fight for us. It's pretty sad, but he's got no give up in him, just like I don't. And we're going to keep pounding that drum and telling everybody about what's going on. But I know we got off on oh my God, Vince, long time. How is Florida, Vince? Everything good in Florida, buddy? Vince, longtime member of our website, and had enough of California, picked up and moved across the country to Florida. Last I saw you, Vince, you were having a good time. I hope life is still good for you in Florida. Things are good. Our little monkey's right here. You heard Vince's voice. He came running over to the side. I did. I absolutely left the closet door open, but no one can see it.
I just realized that.
It's hot there.
Oh,
It's
wow.
hot here too, Vince. It is smoldering hot. Something I want you guys to know, KellyGirl does not go outside.
Oh my God,
From
Dave. I do
August
too,
till
Bob.
October.
We say this to every-
Not very often though, because it's so flippin'
every
hot
time
here
you
and
say
so
this, I
humid.
get mad.
Okay.
I go outside. I'm not a big fan of this stifling heat and this just crazy humidity. I'm not a big fan. I do go out of the house, but I'm not a big fan of it. So I think they all know this by now.
Okay. Well, you know what's funny? We get
Tell us what's fun.
8,000 new subscribers a month on our social media. So there are actually people that have never ever seen us before. I know it's hard to believe, but there's actually people that haven't seen us before. Gang, you got a few minutes if you want to send in a question, if you got anything you want to know about, if you just want to hear something funny, send in a comment, question 949-374-0786. And I'll just let you guys know, we are going to be going to DHL here today, and we're going to be sending off some reels to beautiful Alaska, and we're going to be sending a box of hats to our main man, Riley.
My son Riley in Iowa.
Is getting a box of the most incredible hats from all of our sponsors. And we put together a phenomenal package for Riley, so we're going to mail that off to him today. And
we have a bet like how much this DHL is gonna cost, this shipping fee.
it might be cheaper for us to just buy the hats online and send them to them. We don't.
And it's risky too to send anything from here in Mexico to the United States because you're just not sure.
Jeanette's
It'll make
right
it
there. When it's
sparkle.
hot,
Yeah, why sparkle?
She is
Okay.
sparkling right now, baby. She's like a 4th of
I
July
sparkle from the
sparkler.
moment I wake up and
Oh,
just
it's
going up and down the stairs here.
sparkling.
It's just
It is sparkling for sure.
for sure. But
Yeah, she is a sparkler. Matt Ryan, tell us more about taking away sand bass and bait. Okay, all right. So the powers that be believe that the California sea lion is starving to death because we're taking all of their food away with our bait boats, which my father used to say 98% of the bait that the bait boat catches goes back in the water. And he wasn't wrong. My dad was a very smart human being, and he spent his whole life fishing and fighting. My father was a politician for the last 30 years of his life, big time politician. And he used to try to tell him, we put back 98% of the bait fish that we catch. It goes back in the water as chum, and it goes back in the water as food for fish. And we're not, the bait fish, we're not taking them in our cars for a trip. We're actually taking them on the bait boat, putting them on our boats, and then taking them out and going fishing with them. So the bait gets put right back into the ocean, 98% of it. Probably more than that, but my dad used to use 98% because he believed that he needed to give the government 2%. But probably 100% of the bait goes back in the ocean, because it all goes back in. At the end of the day, when you're done fishing, you dump your bait or you put it in a bag and you take it lobster fishing. It's all going back into the ocean. But they believe in their heart that the reason why the California sea lion is starving, this is for another show. I won't go into the sea lions, babe, I promise.
Okay.
But they believe that's why they're starving to death. So they believe they need to save them by taking away our bait. Then the sand bass, they want to cut it down to a 2-month season. And they want to make it a 2-month season in the middle of the winter when they don't bite anyway. What we're trying to explain to them is you can't use a 7-inch sardine to catch a 14-inch sand bass. It just doesn't work. If we all had anchovies every single day, and we've had them in the bait for the last few weeks, you saw the sand bass fish counts increase tremendously, quadruple what they were catching when they're using the giant sardines for bait. But they believe, now this sand bass, Matt, is a migratory fish. It doesn't live in California. It lives in Mexico. If we went down to Mag Bay, you could literally catch 1 million of them on every rock down there. They migrate in big migratory patterns where they come into Southern California and spawn. And then Todd Manser talks about how the patterns changed when they had the big earthquake in Indonesia, and how the plate lifts changed and the migratory patterns changed. Same thing happened with the bluefin. The bluefin weren't here. And if they were able to set those laws that they tried to set into effect in 2014, they wanted it to be a 0 take for the bluefin, period. And my father and a lot of the other people at SAC and CCA fought very hard to get the limit to 2. But in 2014, if you look back in your calendar and look, you were allowed this many bluefin, 0. You weren't allowed any. They fought very hard and got the limit to 2. If we weren't allowed to have any bluefin, there wouldn't be any sport fishing industry right now, because God, that's the only fish we've really been allowed to fish for. They've taken away and they've taken away, but they want that sand bass because there's been no science, but they don't understand that it's a migratory fish. My dad used to tell a story in 1957 when he was running sport boats off the San Clemente Pier. The first sand bass they'd ever caught, or not 40, in 1948, not 57, 1947, 1948. The first sand bass they ever caught, then they didn't even know what they were. There's these gray fish that kind of look like a calico, but they're like, what are these? And all of those are sand bass, sir. And they migrated up here from Mexico. And then you started having these great sand bass migrations. And then in 57, you couldn't catch a bass the size of your index finger. My dad used to use something else, not index finger, but I'm not going to say what he used to say, but you couldn't catch a bass that big because the migration period, the migration shifted and they didn't have them. Was there no more sand bass left on the planet in 57? No, they waited, and a couple of years later, they migrated back up. But nobody has time. So all these things are being done with emotion instead of science. You know, they're not doing any science because they've stolen all the money for science to make sure that they were able to buy their Teslas and drive around and tell us how they're saving the planet by global warming. But they want our sand bass really bad. And it's got nothing to do with the fish. It's got nothing to do, it's like the MLP that they're trying to extend. It's an absolute master plan if you pay attention and you listen. It's like putting a frog in in a pot of water and then turning the heat up slowly. The frog will get used to it, and then pretty soon the frog will just get cooked in the pot. That's what's kind of going on here. They're taking little pieces and little pieces at a time, and then we're going to look up one day and we're not going to be able to fish, period, because they're taking everything away, like they've done with the rockfish, like they took our bass many years ago from 12 inches to 14. Now, the 12-inch bass, that was set up by science back when they used to use science to set the size limits and everything. And so the 12-inch bass, they knew that that fish would spawn 4 to 5 times. So then they knew that it was okay to take that fish out of the water and take it home and eat it, because it had already spawned 4 or 5 times in its 12-inch life cycle. But then emotion hit, and one day they woke up and they said, okay, you can't have a sand bass, calico bass, or a spotted bay bass that is less than 14 inches. That's when I started sounding the alarm and running around on stages and telling everybody, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. This has nothing to do with the fish, because sand bass and calico bass and spotted bay bass have never been commercially fished. They're only for us. You can't buy them in a store in America. You can buy them in a store in Mexico, but you can't buy them in a store in America. And not all 3 of them can be under the same amount of stress at the exact same time. That's incredibly wrong. There's no science involved. And I was like, gang, too many of you are going, it's about time. I don't really like sand. I don't even know why you would need a 12-inch sand bass. There's not even enough meat on there. And then who needs 10? You only need 5. I'm like, you guys don't understand. It has nothing to do with that. It's about control. And it's about taking it away a little bit at a time, until pretty soon there isn't anything left to fish for, and you can't afford to go fishing, and nobody wants to go fishing and catch nothing. There's a lot of people that would like to catch a fish and take it home and eat it. Now, just because you don't want to, think about this for a minute. Because you don't like to eat fish and you only like to throw them back, that doesn't mean that I, who likes to eat fish and take them home, that doesn't make me bad. And it doesn't make you good. That's where everyone's missing the point. Too many people have gotten way into worrying about what other people are doing. This is not how the United States of America was set up. Mind your own damn business. Don't worry about what I'm doing. And don't try to take away. Just because you don't agree with what I'm doing, that doesn't mean that that's wrong. So don't try to take it away from me. If you see joy on my face, don't try to figure out how to take away the joy on my face, baby.
Oh,
Right?
I don't know.
Could you imagine when we met if I couldn't have taken you bass fishing? Or how much you enjoy eating?
I wouldn't be sitting here now. I wouldn't.
Are you eating fish tacos?
No.
Calico bass tacos
No.
are so
So good.
tasty.
So good.
So, gang, you just got to remember, when you open your mouth and words come out, there's so many people listening that are just dying for us to argue in public.
Yeah. They're
'Cause
waiting, just waiting.
If we argue in public, it makes it so easy for them to take our stuff away. I would never tell you, you never see me on anybody else's post telling them this is wrong, that's wrong. It's none of my business. Do whatever you want. I don't care. I have so much stuff going on. I don't have time to worry about what you're doing, and nor do I care. When I go fly fishing, yeah, I don't take trout. But the guy that does take trout, I don't care. If you want to take a trout home and eat it, have at it. Good luck. I mean, they taste great. They taste like trout. But we all got to quit fighting with each other on social media, because it's just making it easier and easier for them to close stuff.
Yep.
Right?
Right.
So we want to thank you guys for watching today.
Thank you so much.
And I don't know, let's just see. Did anybody say that? We don't want to miss anybody. If someone did, babe, we just have to be fair to everybody. Okay, there's a comment. Nope, there's a phone. All right, gang. Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday.
Have a great day. Thank you all for watching us.
What's going on? Wait, what's going on tomorrow?
Oh, tomorrow is a phenomenal show. We have Miranda. Miranda Davis is going to join us. She is been a star of Naked and Afraid. She was on that TV show, Naked and Afraid. If you've never seen it, you need to check it out. And then also she's a yacht captain down in Florida. She has her own little charter boat business down there. And she's going to join us tomorrow. For the next 3 weeks, we're going to be celebrating the women of sport fishing
Woo-hoo.
and the women of outdoor activities. Next week, we got Ashley Deadeye Jones and Heather Smith from Heather Smith Outdoors with us. And then that week after that, we got April joining us, who's a fly fishing guru. She's been all over a lot of magazines. She's in Michael's movie, The History of Sport Fishing. So for the next 3 weeks, and then we leave for Alaska. So thank you for reminding me about Amanda. Or excuse me, not Amanda, Miranda. Thank you for reminding me about Miranda. It's going to be a great show tomorrow. Elliot will be here producing the show. You guys are going to learn so much about her and
It's gonna be a cool show.
how cool it is. She has a great family, and she also has a marmoset monkey.
That's what you just told me this last night. I'm blown away. So we'll have to ask her some questions about her marmoset.
And apparently her marmoset loves to eat marshmallows. So Marley, we're going to get you some marshmallows when we're at the store today.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Tune in tomorrow and the next few weeks. See these awesome women in the industry. Right, Dave?
Yeah, we'll be in there in 3 weeks, Mike Lewis. You're absolutely
that's
right.
Woohoo! It's coming to
Lickety split,
Before we know it, we'll be there.
fast. Thank you, everybody, again.
Bye.
Thank you.